What's up, everybody? I'm Pierre Lawson, founder of the Wall Street Jack Boys, and we are here today with our special guest, Mark Paul Davis. What's up, Mark? Man, welcome to the chat we got tonight with the interview, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir, man. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for
All
having me.
right, man.
Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, man. We just released the newsletter article, the specialty for Black History Month. It's called Black Wolf of Wall Street. So make sure you guys check that out, subscribe. But we're gonna get into this interview session with Mark Paul Davis. He's one of our newest. He's one of our new members. He's been trading with us for less than a year now. But Mark has been doing some phenomenal things in the trading world. I'm pretty proud of you. Already know I'm proud of you, man. So, but you've grown exponentially. I've always been fascinated, and anybody who is a coach or anybody that's a trainer, when you have people that's for real about it, and it's not that everybody ain't as for real as some people, but Mark is one of those people that's for real about it. When he joined, he wasn't playing, and so Mark, he would ask questions every day. The dude, he hit me up on the jack, like, yo, what's this? Like, he really wanted to know, and those are the type of people that I want in my community. You feel me? And so if we can have 100 marks out there, man, I'm telling you, man, the money will just be relentless. But that's just a compliment for you, man. Mark, how about you tell our viewers a little about yourself, man? Where you from and what's your technical background?
Well, I'm from actually I was born in Dallas, Texas. Grew up in East New York and ended up settling back in Dallas, the DFW area after I graduated from high school. My technical background is in IT, so I'm what's called a IT professional, technology specialist. But I do a lot of work in virtualization, working with Amazon, AWS, Microsoft Hyper-V, and VMware. So
Okay.
that's where I'm from, and that's my technical background.
Nice, nice. So, man, tell us, and how did you become interested in trading?
So I've always had an interest in the stock market. At one point, I thought I wanted to be a stockbroker. I have an older brother that's a financial consultant, and I saw the money, the cars, the women, and I thought it was something I wanted to get into. But after taking a job working at Fidelity Investments, I was in their transfer of assets department. I just didn't. I had more of an interest in computers than I had with the financial sector at the time. So I ended up kind of going down that path. But
Nice.
as I got older, I've always kind of wanted to know how um, my money worked. I always had someone managing my finances, regards to like my IRAs or 401ks and stuff like that. But I always kind of wondered, is there something more? Is there something better out there? Can I manage this myself?
Right. Okay. And so, how did you come about the Wall Street Jack Boys, man? How did you come about our training, man?
Well, that was interesting, man. Having a knack for technology, I ran across TD Ameritrade's Think or Swim app. And when I opened it up and I saw all the charts and all the cool colors and stuff, I was like, man, this is awesome. What is this? How does it work? But I was overwhelmed by it. So I started looking around on YouTube for instructional videos on how to use Think or Swim. And I watched a couple of them, but there was one that kind of stuck out. It was yours. The way you explained it, it was almost like you were talking to someone that had never used it before, and that's who I was. And so I picked it up real quick, and then what I did was I reached out to you on your Facebook page, and you asked me to join and let me in, and the rest is history.
Nice, nice. Oh man, so that's awesome. So Mark has a technical background, pretty smart guy. It's amazing that you was actually attracted to the market for the cars and the fancy stuff, in the streets, man. It was the dope boys. And
Yeah.
I like what we're doing at the Wall Street Jack Boys, man. We starting a whole new trend where we making traders cool, man. So I love what we do, man. I'm glad you joined us, man. You've been a blessing to have in the group as well. You had some successes, and we're going to talk about some of those here in a few. How about this? Tell our viewers here how beneficial the Wall Street Jack Boys trading has been for you in your trading career.
Now here's where the game changer gets mentioned because if I didn't have the training that I got from the Wall Street Jack Boys, I would be completely lost in the world of options. I know there's a couple guys, like I get all these feeds on my Facebook page about, different guys that are trading. Come join my group. You get in these forums and these groups and you see these guys trading, but they don't explain to you exactly how, these strategies work. So the Wall Street Jackboys trading actually started off as if I was an infant. I mean, I felt like a baby with my first bottle. You know what I'm saying? I had my first bottle, and then I ended up working my way from that bottle, to baby food, to solid food. And then the way you broke it down was just understanding direction, right? What are those? You talked about candlesticks, explaining how those things work. If someone doesn't understand those basic fundamentals, you will be lost in someone else's, completely
Oh
lost.
yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. So, okay, so you definitely say that the training has been very beneficial. Thank you,
Extremely,
man. Thanks.
extremely.
So, tell me this, man. How often are you trading throughout the weeks nowadays? Like, just on average, how often are you trading?
Well, when I started off, I had my one TD Ameritrade account, and I probably have one or two positions on at one given time. I was pretty scared to get in there. I've kind of worked my way up. I've got three accounts now, and I probably have 6 to 8 positions
Oh,
going in all three at one
nice.
given time. Now it took me a little while to be able to manage all of that. So it takes a lot of discipline to be able to do that. But at any given time, if the market's doing what it should be doing, and considering we've been in an 8 year bull market, everything's going up. I tend to have 6 to 8 positions going. On the low end, probably four.
Wow. So, man, you started us like last spring, not even a year yet, and you were just a baby in the game, no previous training, and now you're handling 3 to 4 accounts. That's remarkable, man. Like, I think that's why, me doing this interview with you has been very, I'm so inspired by it, man, because, as, new traders here, and when you're a new trader, you just starting out, it's so much that's going through your mind, man. And one of I think the best things to help someone, that's kind of how I design the courses, what is just taking to that journey of when you were new, right? So a lot of the gurus out there, they selling all these programs and stuff like that. They're really not really trying to help people, right? They want you to be dependent on them and continue to fund them and things like that. And with our training, I teach you how to be independent, so you become an independent critical thinker yourself, right? And so, this interview I think is very purposeful because, we take in everybody else who's looking and maybe they want to start trading and they can see your journey, which has been less than a year. Somebody who was just a baby who's now managing 3 or 4 accounts now. I mean, that's remarkable, man. So, I salute to you, man. I'm inspired, man. Thank you. Thank you. So, and we trade stock options, which we like the Navy SEALs of the stock market. It's nothing more complex than what we do, but the payoff is you can't compare anything else to it. No crypto, Bitcoin, stocks, or whatever, pennies. There's nothing that's
Right.
like the stock options market, man. So we like the Navy SEALs of the game. But let me ask you this, man. What, as of right now, what is your favorite stock options strategy right now?
So, okay, with that being said, I'm gonna start also to mention, like, I didn't know anything about options until I found you. I didn't even know they existed. So once I got the material, then I understood what they were. Now, so what was your question was on what my favorite strategy is?
Yeah, what's your favorite option strategy? There's so many option strategies. That's why it's called options
Oh,
because we have several strategies. We got the spreads, the butterflies, the iron condors, the
right.
J lizards. I mean, just it's all kind of stuff, man. Trust me,
So,
or you're
so
overwhelmed with the option strategies.
my very first strategy, which I was taught by you, was selling credit, basically selling a put credit spread, right? So that's the
Okay,
only thing that I knew, and that's the only
okay,
thing I used. So my main focus was looking for volatility. I'm just looking for high volatility, throughout my scanners. But as I got better and started to progress, I started understanding volatility more. So I use a combination of selling put credit spreads and
Okay.
also buying call spreads. So I'll buy, I'll buy a debit call spread. Um,
Okay.
and then sometimes if my setup is like spot on, and it's going to be spot on, I'll buy a directional call.
Okay.
Yep. So for the most
So,
part, I'm selling put credit spreads or buying debit call spreads.
all right. So your favorite strategy is basically selling the vertical spread in combination with just buying a directional, call or put on top of it. Usually selling the strategy to finance the other one. That's
Exactly.
maybe
Yep.
over some people's heads who's listening, but when you get the courses and everything that we do, you guys will learn all this stuff. But that is a phenomenal strategy. So definitely look that up. Selling spreads, that's basically like the basis of our courses, of course, and then buying calls. So that's awesome, man.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's the first thing that was taught in the courses is selling. I
right,
mean,
right,
sellers do have the edge. I mean, that is a fact. But
right.
there's certain situations where, if volatility is low, you may see me jump in there, and I'll buy on that call side because it's cheap. But that's stuff I had to
Nice,
learn. I had to learn that from the courses. So kudos to
nice.
you.
Ah, man, you're welcome, man. So man, so while we on it, man, how about you tell us about your biggest win of the year? I already know the scoop because we're in the group. You had a big boy. You came through with the money bags, man. Tell the world about this big boy play that you
Yeah.
had popping off, man.
So this was a momentum play, and it was on a stock. It was called as MIXM, and I knew it was going to do its thing, but I didn't know, how quickly. And this was one of those ones that was lining up perfectly for me. So I bought a directional call, and I
Okay.
bought this thing for $1.65, and I
All right.
sold it for 18.50. Yeah.
Hold on.
That's
Say that. Hold
massive.
on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Say that one more time. One more again.
I bought this call for $1.65, and I sold it for 18.50.
Now, how long was you in this position, though? How long were you in
I
this trade?
I got in this position. It was on a Friday,
Okay.
and then it went crazy on Monday. So I sat in it over the weekend, and it went bananas. So really 2 business days.
So in 2 business days, you went from a dollar and some change to $18 is what you sold it for in 2 days. What was your profit percentage on that
That was it.
on the
That
trade?
was it was 600 and something percent. Yeah, that, that was just one lot. That was one
Did y'all
lot.
did y'all hear that? Man, this man made over 600% profit on a 2-day trade. You tell me some another industry or anything else you can do that in. I mean,
Yeah,
that is remarkable. In less than a year of trading, already knocking out 600 percenters. I mean, that is phenomenal. You feel me?
yeah. That's a move right there. When I closed that trade out, I felt like I stole something. I mean, I really did.
Well, how we say it in the group on Facebook when you get your money?
You get jacked.
Hey man, you got to run off on the plug. That's what. Hey, run off on the plug twice because you jacking, you robbing, we gone. Let's go, take them on out. Man, that's a phenomenal play, man. So congratulations on that major win. We have a tool that a lot of you guys probably don't know about. It's called the Wall Street Jack Boys Trading Journal, which is pretty phenomenal. I know you were telling me something about the way that your equity curve looks on there from that one big massive trade. Like, what did it do to your equity curve, man? Like, just give me a range of what it looks like with your hand signal, man.
Yeah, it's it's up here somewhere like this.
Oh, we
I
can't even
mean,
fit that on camera.
I mean, I can't dunk no more, but if I could, man, it'd be like getting dunked on.
Wow. That's
Yeah, it was
crazy,
it was
man.
it was a nice move, man. But that one for me, I learned a lot from that trade. I
Okay.
want to share this with you guys. So I actually I had one lot in one account, and I had another one in another account. Now
Okay.
I had a GTC order for 50% on one of them.
We're closing it.
So
50%.
yep, for closing it. Yeah, for closing it. And on the other account, I didn't. So it closed me out at 50% profit
On the
on
other
one
one.
call. On the other one, the one that wasn't, I ran off on the plug. So
Woo.
there's a couple things that I learned from that. That there's a few times you may not want to cap your profits. If you know that there's something setting up, right? If it's momentum and you see conviction behind it, just let it ride. Just keep an eye on it. Or change that
Right.
GTC order for a lot higher than 50%.
Oh yeah. Nice. So thanks for sharing that advice, man. Basically, what he's saying is that he had a trade working already. He put in a good to cancel order, meaning that he's, seeking his target to get out at a 50%. So once his target is hit, then the order gets closed out automatically at 50%. So because he had the order running on two different accounts, on one account, he had put a good to close order at a 50% target, which when his play made its move, that one went ahead and closed out automatically. He took a 50% profit on that one. But the other one, he didn't never put a good to close order on that one. So it just rolled like, because options things can be unlimited profit potential, actually. So a lot of you probably don't
Right,
know that, but you can have unlimited profit potential. It'll tell you that your max loss is X and then your max profit is unlimited. So that's a reality. And what he's saying
right,
is that basically, if you have the ability to monitor your trades, your accounts, then it's worth it to not cap your your wins basically if you have the ability to watch it, which obviously he was able to watch it. However, if you're somebody who's working, which most people are working, you don't have time to watch it throughout the day and things like that. Always go ahead and put in your good cancels. You know what I'm saying? Just so that you're not, you don't miss out on those profits, though.
right. Exactly.
Nice.
That is
All
true.
right, man. So we got the golden one out the way, man. Let's talk about your most memorable loss since you've been trading, man, and what did you learn from that?
Man, one thing, that I've learned, and this is also, from your mentorship, I haven't had a loss that has set me back or hurt me pretty bad because I never take any trades that have undefined risk.
Wow.
So if I'm doing 5%, in a $5,000 account, that's going to be like 250 bucks. So I will never take a trade that has the max loss more than 250 bucks. And I'm normally, if
Wow.
it's going against me, I'm out of there before that. I'll never let it get to 250.
Right.
So my most memorable loss is probably my very first one, which is my first trade was with X, one of those Trump sensitive stocks.
Still,
I,
yeah.
I lost a whopping $30 on that trade,
You
but
lost
that was my very
$30.
first. Yeah, $30.
Okay.
But yeah, man,
Nice.
that was my very first loss, so I always remember that one. But I never take anything that's not defined. All of my risk is defined.
Okay.
So if I sit there like a clown and let it roll completely to 250, then that means I'm not paying attention to my moving averages. So
Right.
I'm normally out. I'm out
Right.
before I get to that max loss.
Nice. So basically, Mark is just telling you about his risk management, which is a major part of what we teach here at Wall Street Jack Boys, where a lot of the other gurus and other people don't even teach risk management. They teach you how to trade, but you got to understand how to get out of Dodge when it's time to get out of Dodge. Like this past week with the market tipping, if you don't know those type of things, I mean, you're gonna get burnt. You're gonna get roasted. And so he's just basically telling you that with his training, he learned how to manage his risk. So therefore, he never risked capital that he can't afford to learn anyway. Even if he takes a max loss, which is highly unlikely he's going to take a max loss. I mean, that's got to be him not paying attention. But if he did, like he just said on the 5,000 account, the only thing he's risking is somewhere around 250, probably under 500, somewhere around there. So it's not going to hurt him to lose that whole thing if the whole market crash. That's the max that he can lose. So that's an awesome, piece, a crucial piece of what we teach here at Wall Street Jet Boys. But that's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. So since we talk about risk, man, I mean, what's hot right now. 2017 was pretty much Trump and Bitcoin. That was all year on news every week. It was just crazy. So, like, what are your thoughts on cryptocurrency? For the people that's on looking, it's a very popular thing right now. A lot of people talking about it. It's kind of, I know it's super down right now. It's about what 6,000, trading about 6,000 right now. What are your thoughts on cryptocurrency? Do you have any?
Man, so I'll be perfectly honest with you. I kind of look at it, but my hands are so full right now with options.
Right.
I just don't have bandwidth to to mess with another type of trading. I just don't.
Right.
Options, with all the different strategies and different scanners and stuff you have looking for different trades coming up, there's just no way that I have the time to look at cryptocurrencies right now. So I
Right.
kind of wish I did have the time. Maybe sometime later in the year, but right now, man, my hands are wrapped up in
Right.
options.
But you know what? It's crazy, man, because with options, like you really gotta be learning for the rest of your life. I mean, it's so much to learn. That's one of the things I love about options. To be an options trader, you gotta be a very intelligent person. Even if you come to us and you're not intelligent, I promise and I guarantee you, when you leave, people are gonna think you're a freaking genius. You can come from the streets and people will think you're a genius because we're going to build your memory, your muscles, your intelligence. Like you're gonna work your brain. You're gonna constantly be working your brain, man. Like it's gonna take us so
Right.
much of your time because you're trying to make money. You're trying to get better at making money. You're gonna start trying to figure out how to stop losing money. It's gonna
Right.
occupy your time, man. So anybody that's in the streets, you're gonna spend less time in the streets. You're gonna reduce your probabilities of getting shot, killed, or anything crazy because you're in the books. You're in the video, like Mark said, man. He watched the trainings over and over again. That's your
Yeah.
your mind is gonna be on getting to the money. So
Exactly.
you don't have time for nothing else. You don't have time. You're not available for the drama and the negativity, man. You building, man. So that's awesome. So,
Yeah.
man, what would you say is your go-to? What are your go-to indicators like when you're calling out your plays or when you're getting whatever you're looking at in the market? What are your like go-to indicators that you utilize, you know, on a
So
regular basis?
for me, my go-to indicators are the squeeze, right? So
Okay.
John Carter's the TTM squeeze.
Okay.
That's definitely one that I won't say it's a no-brainer. You just got to know which way it's gonna fire, or
Direction.
hopefully get
Right.
an idea direction it's gonna fire. Um, so I use also momentum too. So there's an indicator called the TTM trend that you can use. So my main indicators that I use are the squeeze, the TTM trend. I think I use the DMI and take charts.
So you're using the squeeze, you're using the
Yep,
trend.
TTM
Okay.
trend, MACD. I use the MACD.
And using the
Uh,
MACD. Okay.
if I'm looking at the squeeze, my main indicators, I'll tell you, let me pull it up charts here.
Okay. And what kind of time frames are you trading off of, like when you're doing your trades for the most part?
I'm a swing trader. Like my stuff is on a daily, right? I usually start with a daily. Sometimes I look at the weekly, but a daily, a 4 hour, and then I use for my entries a 30-minute or a 15-minute chart.
Okay.
But for the most part, I can get all of my info that I need on that daily in a 4 hour. And then for my entry triggers, I'll use like a 30-minute, or a 15-minute chart. Anything else it moves too fast, for my swing trading type of style. So
Okay.
my main concern is stuff that's making its move throughout the day and in a 4 hour. And then, like I said, I'll
All
just
right.
use 30-minute and a 15-minute, for my entry trigger charts.
All right. So you got two time frames that you use for your entry points. As you're trying to get the edge on your entry, so you're looking like at a 15 or 30, and then for your
Exactly.
trends, you're basically looking at a daily, and then 4 hours, you're probably getting just a little bit on direction. You're getting quicker direction from that, right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I'm getting kind of a confirmation on my 4 hour. If I'm seeing a nice push on that 4 hour, or just breaking above a bar that I'm looking for, then I know it's got enough juice to get me where I need to be. Also, I may not have mentioned I use Fibonacci. Fibonacci is that is my go-to tool when it comes down. Even before I enter a trade, I will run those extensions and retracements to kind of see, if I got clear blue skies ahead, then I know I'll jump in there. But if I see, resistance up ahead, I may back off for a little bit and wait till it breaks that golden ratio before I get in. But the Fibonacci tool, I think that was the gift of all gifts that you were able to give us in your training.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, the
Yeah, yeah.
Fibonacci, that's one of my favorites as well. So that's, courses that's built into our curriculum as well. Awesome, man. So let me ask you this, man. What kind of techniques are you using, or what do you actually use to remove emotions from your trading? Because that's one of the big sayings, all the gurus tell you don't be emotional. You kind of want to be just technical. So like, how do you actually
Right.
get rid of your emotions from through trading?
That I'm still working with that one, because there'll be times that I'll have a trade on, and then sometimes it'll work out perfectly, and sometimes it won't, and it's very difficult to not revenge trade, like either on that same underlying or something else, right? So
Oh,
for me, what I try to do is definitely if I have a loss, I try to kind of revert back to being more technical. Sometimes what happens is, I have certain positions on, and I start getting real brave or froggy, and I may have 4 steps before I enter a trade. I may skip one of them, just because I'm just feeling a certain kind of way, So one thing that I've got to do better at, and I'm working on that this year, is to make sure I don't deviate from my plan. Even though my
right.
plan may have 4 steps, I need to make sure that those 4 steps align before I start cutting
Correct.
them out and jumping in. So I
Awesome.
think
So
that's
you
something every trader has to kind of continue to work with.
right. So you basically got a trading plan. Well, we have a trading plan that we give in the course to help people start off. Now, have you made any modifications to our trading plan to fit like what you got going on, or do you find it would just work just the way it is?
No, that trading plan that you provided for us, man, is spot on. I mean,
Nice.
I still use it. I have it memorized now. I mean, I don't have to reference it, like I used to. But no,
Right.
dude, I mean, I literally can flip through that trade. I can look at a position in a matter of seconds and make a decision if I need to be in or out of it. It takes
Nice.
me, a couple seconds to go through my charts, but man, I mean, I'm making decisions, and that's one thing that I like about trading is I have the ability now to make decisions about things that probably would take me weeks. I'm making them in minutes and seconds, and
Oh
not
yeah.
even looking back, not even looking back. Just making them, going, dealing with the results, and keeping it moving.
Oh yeah, you gotta love the high level critical thinking skills, and that's what you get, man. That's one of the treasures that you get from trading or learning from gurus or professional traders is their ability to critically think. And so, I mean, that's why options training costs so much money because you're really paying to get somebody's, critical thinking skills. Basically, I mean, it's only so much you can learn in the books, man. So the rest of it is wisdom, So that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. Um, Let me ask you this, because we got the Wall Street Jack Boys Trading Journal, and you know that I've been working so hard on building this thing up, man, into where we got it at now. We're on 2.0 right now. Like, how do you actually leverage the Wall Street Jack Boys Trading Journal with your trading?
So for me, I realized right out the gate that I needed some kind of way to keep track of my trades. And luckily for me, you had actually released the trading journal, right when I started, my journey in trading.
Right.
Because I remember doing a couple of trades, and I'm like, how do I keep track of this crap? I couldn't figure out what was going on and think of swim. I mean, they literally make it almost encrypted. So um, I downloaded the journal and started putting my stuff in there, and I realized real quickly, that I could see, you know, at a bird's eye view of how I was doing with my trading. I could even use the trading journal to determine, my good to cancel orders. So all you got to
Right.
do is just put the info in there. It'll tell you, what your P and L is. So I leverage that trading journal on a daily basis. I've got
Every
three
day.
different journals going for 3 different accounts.
Nice,
Gotta
man.
have it.
That's one of those things that I use every day too. Just like you said, man, with those good to cancel orders, trying to, because what we do is we get in our positions and then we go ahead and set our orders for where we want to close. Like soon as we get in, we already know what our closing is because the journal actually in the journal it'll tell you what your targets are. So I got a 30% target, 50% target. I go ahead and put it in, and then I go ahead and put it in for the close the order. So therefore, it helps reduce the level of management that you're having to do, so that you're not constantly watching. For people that's working, it's perfect because before you go off to work, because I know we have another member, she should do this all the time. She go in, she's like, I put in this order before I'm going to work, and she just let it ride. And then while you're at work, you just get a notification like, bing, 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 this Thinkorswim letting you know your order closed. You just like, oh, cool. And then you just get back to your daily life. So I like the fact that it reduces your level of stress and having to worry about positions that you're in and trying to capture profits. It
Right.
assists with that, so it helps automate the process.
Yes.
Awesome, man. So before we leave out, man, I got one last question here for you, man. What advice would you have for any of our new members or any beginners looking to start into options trading or any kind of trading careers in the stock market? What is your advice to anybody that's new?
Don't give up. Um, the amount of material that you're going to have to ingest may seem like a lot, but it's worth it. When you think about it, this is your money, right? You're taking control of how your capital is being put to work. So just don't give up. Stay with it, and over time you'll see that there's a lot that you can learn from this. Even if you never trade, if you never pull off one trade, you're going to have enough information to sit down and have a high level, educated conversation with anyone about finances and how the market works, because you will understand it.
Nice. Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Davis. Hey, man, show the people what you got on your shirt right there, man. What kind of gear you rocking right there, man?
Let's see if I can show you.
Let
It's
me
the
see.
Wall Street Jack boys.
Okay, y'all see we got the merch on deck, so make sure this is the new movement. It used to be the Dope Boys, now it's the Wall Street Jack Boys. You feel me? Only place we jacking is on Wall Street. We're not jacking your house. We taking money that's in Wall Street, and that's legal, man. But yeah, make sure y'all get our merch. Check out the website wallstreetjackboys.com. That's where you can get our educational services and trainings. Uh, you know, Other than that, man, we'll catch y'all in the market. So you either jacking or you getting jacked. You feel me?
Real talk, man.
All right, man. So there we have it, man. You guys have a good one, man. Peace.